I've driven this 14-hour stretch of interstate a dozen times. Usually it's a straight shot, but tonight a thick, heavy mist swallowed the road ahead. Within minutes, visibility dropped to near zero. The white lines on the asphalt faded into a gray haze, stripping away any sense of depth or direction outside the windshield. After hundreds of miles, you run on autopilot. I kept my foot steady on the gas, trusting a few black coffees and rote muscle memory to carry me through the final leg of the drive. But when exhaustion meets total sensory deprivation, the brain struggles to process the environment. Without physical landmarks to ground you, you become entirely dependent on whatever glowing screen is sitting on your dashboard. It was 2 a.m, the quiet hour where the rest of the world feels entirely absent, leaving you alone in a hollow box. Then the silence broke. The dashboard screen flickered, casting a harsh blue light across the cabin as the GPS chimed to announce a route recalculation. I figured the system had detected the severe weather and pinged satellites to find a safer, faster detour around the worst of the fog. It is remarkably easy to surrender control when the physical world becomes too difficult to navigate. We implicitly trust the algorithm to know the way, even when it steers us off the map. The digital assistant's flat synthetic voice commanded a sharp right turn in 500 feet. I know every twist and off-ramp of this route. The system was telling me to take exit 47. There is no exit 47 on this highway. Yet, as the countdown ticked down to 0, a rusted, barely legible metal sign loomed out of the swirling white mist. Every instinct told me to keep driving straight. But the physical sign matched the digital command. I turned the wheel and followed the exit ramp into the dark. I eased off the brake, feeling the weight of the car shift as the tires left the interstate. The GPS stopped recalculating. I had chosen to believe the screen over my own memory. The moment the tires left the main highway, the smooth asphalt gave way to cracked, uneven pavement and loose gravel. The painted lane markers vanished entirely. A moment later, the rhythmic hum of the late-night radio broadcast dissolved into heavy, unrelenting static. I glanced down at the navigation screen to find my bearings. The digital road had completely disappeared, leaving my car's icon suspended in a blank black void. In 1 mile, arrive at your destination. The words were standard, but the audio had warped. It was no longer a synthetic tone. It sounded raspy, human, like someone whispering from the empty back seat. The polite mask of the digital assistant was gone. Whatever was speaking from the dashboard wasn't trying to help me navigate a storm anymore. It was just waiting. I panicked. I slammed both feet on the brake pedal, sending the car skidding over the loose rocks until it lurched to a dead stop. The headlights illuminated a sprawling suburban street. No streetlights were on, no vehicles sat in the driveways. The silence outside the windows was absolute. The architecture of the homes was flawless. Fresh paint, trimmed lawns, perfect symmetry, yet utterly devoid of a single sign that a human being had ever lived inside them. These houses were pristine replicas, a completely sanitized, hollowed-out holding cell, built specifically at the end of a road that shouldn't exist. Desperate for a sliver of cell reception or an offline map, I grabbed my phone. The screen glowed faintly in the dark cabin, displaying a stark no-service warning. The dashboard display cleared its dead map. In red typography, a single line of text appeared. You have arrived. Do not leave the vehicle. I threw the transmission into reverse. I gripped the steering wheel, intending to floor the gas and back out the exact way I came in. I looked into the rearview mirror. The cracked pavement behind me was gone, replaced entirely by a towering, impenetrable wall of dark, jagged trees. The entry point no longer existed. The path back to the highway was gone, leaving only the house, the silence, and whatever was waiting in the car.